This is the 533 Tiny Trainer. It is a 3S powered 3-inch drone that basically uses toothpick electronics, and the goal of this whole platform is to be a training tool for 5-inch racing, or just to improve your racing skills. And I gotta say, it does its job pretty darn well. I've been flying this thing pretty consistently for the past few months, trying to improve my own racing skills, and I think it's paid off. But I've got another Tiny Trainer here, and what happens when you take the 3S voltage of how a Tiny Trainer is supposed to be flown and you scale it up? Oh yeah! I built a 6S Tiny Trainer, and today we're gonna see how it flies. So before we go out and actually fly this thing, let me give you guys just a basic breakdown of the parts that I have on this thing. Obviously, like I said, the frame is the 533 Tiny Trainer. The camera is a Foxeer Predator Nano version 5. Motors, I went with 1408 2300 kVs from Emax, and they're going to be spinning 3 by 1.5 by 3 inch props from HQ. I went with this prop and motor combination because, well, I got my inspiration from the Diatone quad. I think it's the 369. It's a StretchDex 3-inch quad that runs 6S, and it uses 1408 motors. I'm not sure what pitch of props it spins, but I figured, hey, let's start with these lightweight 3-inch props. It's the lightest ones that I have, so the motor should have no problem spinning them, and then slowly work my way up. I eventually want to put HQ 2.5 by 3. HQ 3 by 2.5 by 3-inch props on this rig. I think these motors can handle it, but I just don't want to overpower the system. Mainly this board that's in here. So this board that I have, it's an all-in-one made by Gemku. I think it's the Gemku GH411 Pro 2-6S 35 amp board. And that is my flight controller and 4 ESCs. And it might be difficult to see in there, but I do have, it's right here, you can kind of see it through the translucent canopy, is I do have a 35 volt 470 microfarad low ESR capacitor soldered to the battery leads, and as you can see I have another bigger 35 volt 1000 microfarad low ESR capacitor soldered to the XT30. This capacitor actually comes with the Gemku board, so I've got two capacitors on this thing because, again, I'm about to put 6S voltage through a board that is literally this size. 25 volts is about to go through something smaller than the palm of my hand. So yeah, I'm doubling up on the capacitors just for safety reasons. So finishing up, the video transmitter is a Tramp Nano, and for receiver I am running a TBS Tracer. Now, normally the Tiny Trainer comes with this nifty little battery 3D printed little pouch thing that the battery just slides in and out of quite easily. So this is actually genius. I love this thing. It makes battery swapping a breeze. But obviously with the pack of this size, it doesn't really work. So I just went with traditional straps and then some UmaGrip Lite that holds the battery in there like that. So that's pretty much the parts breakdown. I don't think I really, I didn't really overlook anything. Pretty simple, straightforward build. It's just a lot of power going through something, so small. So mainly, this is just a proof of concept. I just want to see if this can even be done. Because here's the thing, I love the Tiny Trainer, I love the way this thing flies, and there just isn't a 5-inch platform that has the frame features that this thing has, namely just SquishDex configuration and a camera that sits below the prop line. I just like the way that feels on a race rig. So anyway, that's it for the parts. One other thing, I figure y'all are probably going to be interested in this. I'm going to show y'all how much it weighs. This is the quad with a battery on it. So according to this scale, this quad comes in at 230.47. So 230 grams, basically. 230, 231. So it's under the 250 weight limit for those of you who are interested. So it's a hefty little guy. And by comparison, here's a 3S Tiny Trainer with a 525 RDQ battery. Weight comparison. It's kind of difficult to get it to balance, but come on. Okay, so 155. So what is that in maths? So it's about 70 or 80 grams heavier. This guy is. All right, guys, here we go. We are going to Maiden, the 6S Tiny Trainer, aka the Tiny Beast. Okay. Okay, it hasn't exploded. Can you see that? It's on. It's armed. Everything seems to be working, so I'm gonna set that right there, just away from me. Let's go back, grab the controller. And okay, let's see if it explodes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's hovering. Now it's pretty cold out. It's like 45 degrees, so it's probably gonna go a little slower, but wow, that's crazy. Okay, so I landed. Let's check the motors. We'll see what the motors are doing. All right, well, motors are cool. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, now, moment of truth. So I've been flying a course that I set up here with my other quads. And let's see if the 6S Tiny Trainer can do the same thing. All right, turn the goggles on. Turn the goggles on. I do have video. This is my first time flying the Predator Nano, so let's just take this nice and easy. This is not PID tuned whatsoever, so I suspect the handling is gonna suck. But oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, holy cow. Oh gosh. I forgot to turn up my video transmitter settings. Golly, that's scary. Okay, let me go into the OS. Okay, features, VTX, yeah. Okay, power, 500 milliwatts, confirm, yes. Gosh, that was terrifying. Okay. All right, let's try this again. There we go, now I've actually got good video. Now the rates should be the same, and what the heck? Whoa! I think I might need to lower my camera angle just a little. Okay, it needs a PID tune, I'll give it that, but whoa! It's handling okay. Everything is saying like low battery, low battery, low battery, low battery. Whoa. It's got some bobble, but I mean, it doesn't feel bad. Oh my gosh. Carries this momentum pretty well. Okay, we're at like, how long have we been flying? 2 minutes almost. Let's see. I'm at 21 volts. All right, okay, I'm bringing it in. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I cannot believe that actually just worked. Like, that was ridiculous and stupid on so many levels, but hey, it worked. It worked. It's still alive. It's still alive. It did not explode. It didn't explode in my hand. Yeah, the flight time kind of sucks. What's my voltage at? Where am I at? I'm at 20. I don't know. It might come back up, but it's just so cold that these little 550 size batteries are just, they just can't handle the cold. And quite frankly, neither can I, but holy cow, that actually worked. That actually worked. Yes! All right, so it's the next day, and I just want to recap a little bit on the Tiny Beast. Tiny Beast, yes, it does work on success, but my excitement was a bit premature, to be quite honest, because as soon as I put on these HQ 3x2.5x3 props, as soon as I would arm and give it a little bit of throttle, it would just full throttle to the moon, basically. And I tried lowering the filters. That didn't work. I tried updating the firmware. The firmware that was on this thing was Betaflight 4.2.0. I've since upgraded it to 4.2.5, and it still does that. However, when I change props down to like these lighter GemFan 3x1.6s, it calms down, but the motors are very, very noisy, as in like they don't sound smooth. They kind of sound like they're like cogging while at the same time that they're spinning, and it sounds like it's just on the verge of like just full throttling to the moon. And I've never had that happen with a quad like this, or with any quad for that matter. Thankfully, this thing does have black box, but I don't know really how to read black box logs, or like take the data from black box and interpret it to, okay, here's the settings I need to change to fix the problem. So I think I'm going to reach out to Mark Spatz over at UAV Tech, because I think he said in one of his videos, like, if you have any issues, you can contact him or something, because I'd like for him to take a look at my black box logs and see if he can pinpoint exactly what's wrong with this. Or it could just be that I'm just pushing way too much voltage through this tiny little 25x25 flight controller. And this thing, like, it's a flight controller, it's a power distribution board, and it's got 4 35 amp ESCs built into it. So, and I'm pushing 6S through it, so if it's just a problem of voltage, then I can understand. So I guess in conclusion, yes, this thing does work, but it's kind of not really viable, to be quite honest, because even when I got it to fly, somewhat properly, just you saw in the DVR, it kind of felt like I was just flying a very heavy Tiny Trainer. It didn't really feel any faster than the 3S Tiny Trainer that I had been flying previously. And I think there could maybe be a couple of factors to that. Number one, it was like 40 to like 35, 36 degrees Fahrenheit, which in Celsius, that's right around 0 or 1 Celsius. And the pack that I was using, I mean, it's a 50C pack, so even though it's 6S, it still sagged nothing. And because it's cold out, it sagged even more. Even my 3S packs were struggling out there. Like, my Tiny Trainers did feel slower compared to past times I've flown in the parking garage of pain. So yeah, I think there are some external factors at play, but at the same time, I think even if those external factors weren't in play and I was flying in like 70-degree weather with no wind, I'm still not certain whether or not this thing would perform any better. So would I recommend that somebody build one of these things? I'm gonna have to say no. I'm sorry, I really wanted this thing to work out. I was really excited to get it flying, but the performance of this thing right now in its current state doesn't justify just using it on a regular basis, to be quite honest. That being said, I'm still gonna keep this build around. I'm still gonna play with it over the next few months and just see if I can get something viable working out of it, because ideally my goal would be for this thing to be able to get 2 minutes consistently on a 5-inch track and still keep up with 5-inch quad. So that's what I would really like to see happen, because I really like the way this frame flies. Like I said, it's a squished X with a camera mounted below the prop line, and there just isn't a 5-inch quad out there that has those frame features. But that being said, I'm probably not going to race this thing hardcore like I did last year. I think this is just going to be like a really fast, like, practice 5-inch, basically. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. So, anyway, if you want to build one of these things and try it out for yourself, I will leave parts to everything down in the video description. And pretty soon here, I'm going to be working on a Tiny Trainer review. I know Bardwell's done one, but I've been flying that frame way more than him. And I think there are some interesting things that I've found on the Tiny Trainer that I can bring to the table. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Have a nice day, and have a Merry Christmas. Bye!